Happy Friday. How's it going? I hope you're well. Thierry here from thierryalexander.com. I'm just going to very quickly check that we are live and that the sound is good. Yeah, we seem to be fine. If you can let me know as well, just to make sure that on your end, it is good as well, and that the visual is fine, so that we can roll on and not having any technical issues, basically. So happy Friday to you. I hope you're well. If you saw me yesterday if you tuned in yesterday in my Facebook Live on my business page, Rise and Roll, or maybe YouTube, because now I'm broadcasting everywhere at once, which is amazing. And I'm leveraging the internet even more to reach out to more people. So we are now direct, like live on YouTube, live on personal profile. Yesterday I was like, my private group, my page, everywhere at once from the click of a button. So that's awesome. Anyway, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Thierry from thierryalexander.com. I come live throughout the week here and there to talk about topics usually around marketing, helping you business owners, makeup artists, entrepreneurs, network marketers to build your businesses online so that you can attract the best qualified leads into your business. Now, I want to chat about this topic, and because they are wrong stuff, right? And I want to address what's wrong with the MLM. What is wrong? Do you know what MLM is? First of all, like give me a yes or no if you are either involved in MLM, aka network marketing. But what's wrong with MLM, like multi-level marketing? Like, have you ever come across it? Have you been approached by someone to join an MLM? Are you part of an MLM or network marketing, whatever it is that the companies are calling it? What's wrong with them, right? And let's have a real talk here, because I've been, as some of you know, I've been involved in the industry since 2012, and there are some wrong stuff, some wrong practices that are actually in the field, and that needs to be addressed because it actually gives a bad rep. Yeah. Just like any industries, I believe that any industries, all industries have their downfall. They have like their bad people around that are actually creating a bad name for whatever industry. Like, even in Hollywood, for example, the performance and all this, there's like all this raping stuff going on. And right now we see Britney Spears apparently is going through a phase where she's putting out a lot of words that she's been suffering for 13 years in her family. And even within the industries, right? Some actors are mixing like music and film and all that stuff. Any industries, modeling is an industry that had, a bad name at some point because models were not eating, and there were a lot of problem with nutrition on the back end. There was some lots of stuff going on. It happens in any industries. Now, here we're going to talk about MLM directly because I know that a lot of people are succeeding, but a lot of people have a really bad taste about it. So just for the record and the backstory, I've been involved in network marketing since 2012. I still am involved in it. So that gives it away that I'm not going to bash and say, but I want to be transparent and give the good, bad, and ugly of this industry. So if you are looking to actually get involved, or if you're approached and you're wondering whether it's a good thing or not, at least you'll have some information and you can go away and decide for yourself. So back in 2012, I've been approached by a friend of mine who was working in the same department store in the UK, very famous Harrods that you may know. And when I've been approached and offered this opportunity to take a look into it, it was all kind of like secretive, to be honest. And I love my friend, nothing against my friend. That's how he was trained, and that's actually how I got trained afterwards. You don't know what you don't know. Yet it was all kind of secretive. And when we got to having a coffee, then it was introduced to me as an online business, like online. And I was like, yeah, this is exciting because it is in alignment with who I am, my value, the fact that my value of freedom. And I was excited to have an online business, right? Well, it actually turned out to be a home party, coffee meetings, hotel meetings type of business model. So nothing like I've imagined. I thought that was going to be only online. I could travel anywhere, and it was kind of still sold that way. And to a certain extent, yes, it was kind of true, but I was actually running from one side to the city to the other of London. And, if you're in London or in big cities, commuting is taking a lot of time. And I was with those kids and training people, and it was going to places where people were not turning up. It was something. And don't get me wrong, I kind of enjoyed it to a certain extent because I was learning and I love learning. So anything that makes me learn something, I'm up for it. That's the aspect that I actually really enjoyed, was to do something new, to expand myself, to expand my mind, to have that business, which was my very first business. And so not having any knowledge about what else, just the theory of what else exists, like traditional businesses, franchises, and things like this. I had no other experiences myself, and I'm not from a entrepreneurial family type, so it was kind of foreign to me. Now I realized that, looking back from what I'm doing today and how I'm building my business and coaching my clients to run their business, I was actually running my business as a hobby. Hence, it was also costing me money. That was not the only thing that it was costing me money, to be honest. It wasn't only because of my practices. I think also the business model was not, again, in alignment with who I am and who I was um, aspiring to be, and my value. Okay, it was the plan where it mostly is about the recruiter that, so you're a recruiter that recruits and teach recruiters to recruit, kind of thing, right? A little bit on the verge of not so ethical type of business model, as you may have heard before. We can hear all those names, pyramid schemes, and it wasn't, because it's an industry which is actually quite regulated, the MLM and network marketing industry. It's very regulated by the Direct Selling Association. So rules are there. That's the reason why there are lots of companies each and every single year that are starting off, and they're crumbling within the year or within the next 2 to 3 years, max 5 years, because there are regulations, and those ones are getting caught into doing bad practices. And we've got the people that are shiny object syndrome affected, and so they're jumping from one to the other, or there's a new one, another new baby. And we've got the people, and those ones are the people that tend to go along with the bad practices, and unfortunately giving a bad rep, because they are approaching people the same way over and over and over and over again. They're looking for a new solution by doing the same thing over and over again, which is completely insane, right? And what happened with that first company, that first business that I was in back in 2012, I stayed with them for 4.5 years, and I burnt out. I literally burnt out. That was it. Like, it was just not working for me, and I had enough. I was getting tired. I think I kind of left before getting completely burnt out. I left. I was like depleted and feeling demotivated, not going anywhere. Even some of my friends were telling me, look, if in any business after 18 months you don't get any results, even 18 months is too stretch, then there's something that is not right. I was putting it on me. I was putting the non-success creation on me, because I know that I had to develop a lot since I'm not from an entrepreneurial family type. I'm still developing myself. I expand my mind, and I will always forever expand my mind, because I love personal development. I love growing. I love learning. Yet it is true that if you're in a model that is not bringing you something for, like too long, that something is not right. 4.5 years is basically where I said, like, stop, we have to stop. I was spending more money that I was making. I was traveling miles and miles away. Like, I'm living in the UK. I was going to the US for an annual convention. I was traveling all around the UK, and I love traveling, so that's fine, because that was in alignment with me. And I was like, okay, great. At least it's making me do that and having experiences. So I didn't lose anything in that sense. Right? I'm really grateful for the opportunities. Actually, I've been to the US for the first time thanks to that business. Yet after 4.5 years, I had enough, and I was realizing I was not going anywhere. I was not near being able to leave the job that I wanted to give up on, and hence the reason I've taken that business on board, which was not giving me what I was looking for. I was working my bum off, right? And not getting any result, because it was the blind leading the blind with my friend and my other friends that got involved. It was the blind leading the blind without any strategy, or the strategy was to actually approach friends and family, bug friends and family until they say yes. If they say no, it's a no for now. And to a certain extent, yes, it is true. Yet we don't run a business on friends and family. Like, this is not how it works. And that I had to learn the hard way, because my friends are like my family. I pick my friends very carefully. I've always did. And the last thing that I wanted was to rip the great relationships that I've built over time, over years, because of a business that maybe I didn't know how to run and all that. So there was a mixture of both, like, me having to grow as a person, as a business person, and also the fact that the business was not in alignment with me. So 4.5 years left. I went to Southeast Asia, actually. I reviewed my plan, came back. I stayed a few more months with this company because I had a new plan. I was like, okay, I'm not going to spam the name of the company and the product all over my social media. I'm going to really implement it and offer the products, not even the business. I wanted to get out of the recruiter that recruits and teach recruiters to recruit type of mentality. I kind of like created a PTSD, if you may, right, over that. So I wanted to focus on the sales of the products, and implemented. When I came back from Southeast Asia, I really reconnected with my artistry at the time, and wanted to connect it as an extra service, as a complimentary service that I could offer my clients, my wedding clients, which was making sense, right? I do their makeup. They all brides to be, they always ask you, what type of makeup do you use? Where can you buy it? So I was like, okay, great. Yeah, you can buy it from me here. I was doing makeup lessons. I was then offering the products as well. That was, a great idea to implement. Yet what I've realized is that in that company, because the business model and the compensation plan is made as such that only promoting the products without recruiting recruiters, etc., then it wasn't sustainable. And I was not making, money again. It was very low percentage. And I was like, okay, well, this has to stop. And I went to a second company. I left. I went to a second company with a better structure. Yet, long story short, on that second one, after having many conversations with the owners of the company at different various events, I realized that it wasn't, again, aligned with me. I did ask a question such as, okay, that's great. You and your parents have built this company, multi-million, almost kind of getting to the billion-dollar industry, income. So it works. Hey, like a company cannot stay around in the market that long for like 13, 15, 20 years making millions and billions if it's not legal, right? So let's put that clear. Let's put it out there. The unfortunate thing is that you will always have kind of like people that are giving that bad rep because they are doing bad practices. I'll come into this shortly. But with this second company, kind of similar plan, with a better plan, but similar plan still. And with that one, I stayed 2 years. After conversations with the owners, I've realized that it wasn't in alignment. I said, that's what I was going to say. I told the owners, yes, you and your parents, because the son was my age, from my generation, right? And I said, that's great. You've built this on the traditional way, as I like to say, meaning home parties, coffee meetings, and all that kind of model. Yet, how about building the business online? What is your thought? What are your thoughts on building this type of business online? And that was like not that long ago, about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, right? And the answer was yes, but the expression that is used in the industry, but belly to belly, meaning face to face, and home parties and coffee meetings and hotel meetings and all this, is the best. And I'm like, oh God, okay, this is not for me. And that's when I moved on and looked for other things. I was in that time where I definitely started wanting to go back to personal branding and branding me rather than anything else. And I found a company that is in complete alignment with this. I looked, not studied necessarily, but looked into the compensation plan and all this and realized that finally there is a company out there, and I'm not saying it's the only one, but I found this one that is more of an e-commerce / affiliate type of company under the MLM umbrella. And that is the win-win situation, because what I mean by that is it's more like a referral type of system. I can give a coupon to people for them to have a discount on their first order. They don't have to become an independent consultant to actually get the discount. They can even recommend and refer other people to the product as consumers, just like you would do with Uber or with Netflix. When, if you're interested in someone, a friend of yours wants to get on the membership of Netflix or have an Uber ride and they never had one before, they have to download the app. You can send them your referral code, so both of you are winning. That is the same principle within the company that I found. And I was like, okay, now we're talking. Because what that means, it's also the fact it's based more on customers, on customs, versus recruiters that recruits and teach recruiters to recruit. It means that you can build a sustainable business with customers only. Some people don't like building a team of other business owners. Some people don't like that. They don't feel they have the capacity. They don't feel they have the leader within themselves. They don't feel that they have the skills to lead a team. And that's cool. Some people prefer to just be a product of the product and refer and recommend what they are using, which we do all the time anyway, right? So that was for me the moment I was like, okay, that makes sense, because I don't have, if I don't want to recruit, I don't have to. Anyway, and so unfortunately though, I've seen a post earlier, about someone asking about MLM and how it works and the pros and cons, and people were commenting a lot of bad things because of their experiences. And I don't blame them. I would have been at some point, maybe at the beginning, like very fiery and, oh my God, but no, although I never really got involved into those conversations. Yet they are right. There are some really bad practices in the industry, and that has to stop. If you're involved in network marketing, or if you know anyone that is involved and do those things of like, being super secretive and at bringing people in their world and pitching their friends and family all the time, and always being cringy on, like even some people would have gone through an application thinking it's a job they are applying for, and actually turn up to the meeting and then it's an MLM. That is not right. That is not right. This is not a way of building a business. And to go into DMs and being creepy of like, hey girl, how's it going, and then poof, the business. We've got to be a little bit more human first, market a second to start with, hey, and then also be more ethical, because people are actually building a lot of resistance now with this industry, whereas it could bring them so much joy. I'm not saying that it will give them like the millions they're looking for, maybe, and heck, it's not always about making the millions. I used to be on that wagon of like, again, because some companies are like that. I was always very fortunate though to have great products in the couple of companies I was involved in prior. And one that I'm involved now is obviously having a great product as well. Yet, I remember to be on that wagon of thinking, oh yeah, I'll be a millionaire and I'll have that car and this. And it's like, actually, it's not about this. Some people would do very well with just an extra £500 a month to complete even £200 a month or $200, or some people are doing this business just for this, to complete the it's not complete that I'm looking for, to complement, is it the wages that they're receiving from their jobs, right? Some people are getting involved in this industry not even for the money, but mostly for the personal development, because this is a personal development type of business in disguise, or in a personal development industry disguised as a business, right? So yeah, bad reps because of the bad practices and the promises and the claims that are made. All these things really not good. It's not putting you in the light if you're an MLM and you do that, because I've done it. I can tell you, it wasn't bringing me much business at all to flash, the products and the name all over the place, and to pitch people all the time. People would kind of avoid me at the time. Not pretty. And also, it is very true that those that are really making it at the top, as in like, making a large amount of money, it's about 1%. 1% of people. And that is not about the system. The system is the same for everybody. It's not about the product. The product is the same for everybody. The different the variable is you. How do you go about it? How do you run your business? Do you run it as a business or as a hobby like I used to? So a hobby costs money. A business makes money if run the proper way. That's a whole, again, it's a conversation in itself. But only 1% of people are making it to the $1 million club kind of thing. So each story is different. Each and every single person will have a different experiences. Now, my best recommendation, if you had to go and find out a company, or if you're looking for a company to get involved in, you don't know where to go by, someone approached you, but you have questions, you're not really sure what to ask, then first make sure that it is a product that you are sure going to be using and liking and willing to be recommending. Second, look at the business model. That is really something that is so important, because you want to be 100% certain that it is in alignment with you and the person that you are and your values. Like I said at the beginning, it was introduced to me as an online business and turned out to be a party plan, coffee meetings, hotel meetings, all that stuff. type of model. Not very much in alignment with me. I was looking for an online business. That's what was sold to me. So make sure that when people are sharing with you what I've heard that before, and I thought, well, that's very smart. It's not about what people sell you in their words, but look at their activity. How do they run their business? Because clearly, when I've been introduced to this as an online business, if I would have been more of an observer and pay attention to what was going on and how this team that I was introduced to was running their business, I could see immediately that they were doing home parties, coffee meetings, and I could have decided on a much better level whether it was for me or not. Now, nothing wrong about doing parties and home parties and coffee meetings and all that. If you love that, again, I've learned a lot from it and also learned what I don't want to do. I'm glad that I found a company where it's all online. I've got people even buying from me on autopilot at times, right? Yes, I still do prospect because any business you have to prospect. You know, whether you are you have an affiliate business, whether you've got an MLM business, whether you have a franchise business, you know, McDonald's and KFC franchises, they still have to prospect. Any business you have to prospect. If you're a performer, you have to prospect and go around and find the shows that you want to apply for. That's you prospecting. Like all the singers like Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Madonna, CDC or whatever, you know, all the singers, for example, they build their list of fans. Just like you're building your list of consumers and followers. It is exactly the same concept, the same principle. But make sure that the business model of that whatever company you are either being introduced to or that you are looking into joining is in alignment with you fully. And that most importantly, really, if that's one thing to remember, is this: that you can make money. And I'm not talking about scratching the floor, making a few bucks here and there. I'm talking about, you know, being able to make good money by customs alone versus recruiting. If you can run your business, any business, and make money by having customers only, that is a good sign that this is in alignment with the regulation of the Direct Selling Association to start with, and that you are not in one of those schemes that are not really legal, right? And again, the other ones that I've mentioned that I've been part of, not that they were illegal, they were kind of on the verge, right? Because the most pushed out was go and find people to join your team, right? To make more money, basically. So be careful to all those things, all those signs, how you're being sold to things. Pay attention to the lifestyle people are truly living, how they run their business versus what they are trying to sell you. Okay, and that will give you an idea whether you want to basically collaborate with them, join them in the venture or not. Not that they are bad people, but you've got to know what is it that you are looking for and what you want out of any business. Any business. I was talking about this with my partner, you know, yesterday, and I was saying, gosh, at the time when I went to Southeast Asia, I mean, I didn't really have a business. I didn't know how to run a business. I thought I had one, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going, and I've got this online business, but then I was still looking to actually run parties in hostels and meet people in person, etc., etc. Now I could confidently go, and I know that I've got people asking me for more information about what I do and what I sell. How would that feel if that was the same for you? right? So these are kind of like the pros, the cons of the MLM, what's wrong with it. Just wanted to have a little real talk with you and share the good, bad, and ugly of what is going on in here. But like, you know, any industries has their good, bad, and ugly, right? We see it everywhere. Now that is my take on it, and I hope that if you're looking for anything in there, if you're introduced to this industry by someone either that you know or strangers, you'll take those recommendations to know how and what to look for in what you are introduced to, because you want to make sure that again it is right in congruency with the person that you are and what you are looking to actually create in life. If you're someone who loves traveling and loves going out and about and not being strings attached to any specific geographic place, then doing home parties is not your thing. Believe me, I've been there, done that, and realized that I had fun. I did like it to a certain extent because I like presenting and all that. I love being on stage, but not necessarily to or having to run a business by obligation on a party type of plan. So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you got value. If you did, let me know. Feel free to tag your people that might be either in the industry or want to be in the industry or that have been pitched and now they have a bad eye on it. You know, not everybody is the same. And remember, there's always a human behind what is happening, and people try their best. Anyone in the world, we're all here trying our best at what we're doing to make the best of everything that we have and be able to, you know, make a living and help other people, I'm sure with hopefully the best intentions possible. So remember that, right? And have a conversation with people, but don't be nasty to them. That is not serving anyone. And if you're in network marketing, don't go and say, oh yeah, but you should see. And I mean, don't, you know, just be human, just be nice, be kind, right? That doesn't hurt anyone to be kind. Anyway, lots of love to you. Hope you got value. If you have any questions, let me know. This is a wrap, and I wish you a great Friday evening. Super fantastic weekend ahead, and I'll see you around. You take care. Bye.